All right. Hello, everybody. Come on in, share this page, like this page, share it, tag a friend. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Shave and Haircut. I am your host, Kenneth Tramble. Well, I've got two co hosts now. I got my brother, Jacob Tramble, my
Oh,
wife, Latanya Davis Tramble.
Good evening.
And man, we're gonna be doing some serious talking today, guys. We're gonna talk about something that's real important to the country, to the state, to the world, and that is election, and that is voting. And we're here to ask. We're gonna have to open air questions and answer session, but we're gonna find out, you know, why is it hard for us to go out and vote? That's gonna be the topic of our question. Why don't we go and vote? Is there an underlining agenda about it, or is it just we just don't go and vote? What are we missing? What are we lacking? What do we think? We think I know everybody says this famous phrase that my vote don't count. Um, what are they gonna do for me if I vote? Why should I vote? So we got to have the open end conversation. So I'm gonna bring my brother in right quick and let him go hit on and start off. But what do you think the issue is about voting?
well, some of the people, Mr. Kenneth Tramp, some of the guys just say, I don't have time. If they say they don't have time, then they say my vote don't count, like you were saying before. Or you got others that pretty much just don't care. Deciding who's going to run this country is a big issue. And we all need to take part of that and make sure that, we did our part. Because if you don't, what can you say? You can't say anything. You can't say nothing about either candidate. You can't say nothing about people at the voting booth. You can't say nothing about the people that counted. Why? You didn't vote. Your no vote don't count. They don't count no votes. They count votes. So if you're not going there, you left everything out that you could say or represent by just voting.
Absolutely. So basically, a no vote is basically a no. If you say, yeah, we're not saying who to support, who you're not supporting. Just say
Right.
a no vote means you didn't take the opportunity, and so that means that even if you vote for Miss Harris or Mr. Trump, you don't vote, it didn't count. So why do our community think our vote don't count? What can we say it's the media, or is it people out there that's out there on the social media?
well, let's take it from our own point of view. Uh, when did you start voting?
Uh, huh?
I said, let's take it from our own point of view. Okay, so
Okay.
when did you start voting?
I started voting exactly when I got 18,
Okay,
and I got started there because my mom said it was for it was your right to be able to voice your opinion, especially if you don't say anything. If you don't vote, how can you say anything about what's going on in your community? So I started at 18. Of course, when you was in the military, you had to register to vote. So
thank you. And that's the
that
point I
kind
was
of
going to get to.
pushed us that way too.
Yeah, that's the point I was going to get to because
Yeah.
you got your army shirt on. That's who pushed me into voting.
Right.
They asked me, "Hey, have you registered to vote?" And I said, "Nope." They said, "Well, you are now." So ever since then, I've been registered to vote. Wherever state I go to, wherever city I go to, I register and I go and vote. So I think the underlying issue is us
So you've
not
been voting ever since, right?
Say again, Boomer.
Wi-Fi looks like we keep going on and off. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, all right, we back on. We had some issues with the Wi-Fi. Looks like, but you're right about that. We definitely got to get out there and exercise our rights, right? And we got to sit up here and make sure that everybody knows that yes.
Ramon King says it's only our people that feel like our vote don't count, yet we always pull the neglect card.
Right. So, okay, Mr. King, since you're on here, what further elaborate what you mean by they think? So, is it they're thinking themselves, or is it somebody putting something in their mind, or is it like where they grew up. You know, sometimes if you watch and you see your brother, your sister, your cousin, your uncles not voting, you know, inside you don't want to vote. You know, is it hereditary? It runs in the family, or is it just somebody feeding?
You freezing up, boo.
Can you hear me,
I can hear you, but
Jay?
there you go.
Yeah, I said, what do you think about what Ramon just said for its our people that feel.
You good now?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Okay. And you said what I think about what Ramona said?
Yeah, Ramon King just made a statement.
Oh,
Say what he
Ramona.
said again,
Okay.
baby.
Oh, yes, he says it's our people that feel like our vote doesn't count, yet we always want to pull the neglect card.
Okay. Well, I agree 100%. But don't you think that that's our job?
What do you
We
mean?
instill that in our kids?
Right,
Because
right.
like what
Yeah,
you said before, Mama told you, right?
right, right,
Okay. The military told me.
right.
So that's two different ways we were told about voting.
Correct.
So that's why I say it starts with the parents when it comes to voting. I took Jacob and Javante with me as soon as they could walk when I went and voted when I moved to Texas,
Uh-huh.
and took them with me. And I told the people that they just here to watch me vote, and they say, "Good, everybody should do that," you know.
Right.
And that's how I got them started.
Okay.
Are they voting now? I ask them all the time, and they say yes. But do I watch them at the polls? Of course not. So that's a self preference. Once you instilled in them that voting is very important and they need to do it, then it's up to them to vote.
Right. You're absolutely right. And we can do that, and we can establish that with our kids. But then we got the kids, people that are in the community. Like say right now, I can guarantee you, I probably can walk down my street right now, and it's probably maybe 10 to 15, 18 year olds I can see, and I'd ask them right now, and they're not even registered to vote. You know, they don't vote. They're not. You know, these are people that could make, and they don't understand the importance of how the judicial system is set up. You know, not only the president, you go all the way down to your state representative, to your police jury. If you want something changed, you got to put that vote in there, right? So you got to get out here and vote from the bottom up. If that makes sense, you know,
It does.
from the lower seed all the way up to the president, you should have a voice in every last one of those.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, and some folks just don't vote. Some folks just don't vote unless it's president only. And I know that for a fact. Some people, if it's something like, let's take state representative for this district right here.
Mm-hmm.
There are 10,000 registered voters. In the last 4 years when they had that election, only 400 people went to the polls. And that was because it was just those two on the polls. So that lets you know one or two things, right? Either they don't care, or the people that was on the ballot, they didn't care for. But you still didn't exercise your right. You still need to go in there and take time and talk to somebody and allow them to give them a chance to know you, and you get to know them and see what they likes and dislikes. You just decide not to go at all. You know, we look for excuses not to go to the polls, if it makes sense.
Right.
We try to find reasons like that old saying, my vote don't count. That's an excuse.
But now jobs actually give you time off to go vote.
That's right. So that actually there's no excuse. It's up to you as a
Right.
person.
There's no excuse if you're working, and especially if you're not working. That's definitely no excuse.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yes, ma'am.
Well, Ramon says we don't fully understand the power that our vote for whatever or whoever truly holds. It's an ultimately our misinformation.
Okay. See, that's something else at the bottom too.
He says, and every level of voting available is detrimental.
That's right.
I agree.
And that's what we're not. That's what we're not doing. And I guess that's how we need to start, Jake. We got to start letting them, teaching them how to vote at the lower level first. You
I
know,
agree.
you start with their lower stuff and getting them understanding what are they voting for and why are they voting. You know, state police jury. You know that handles your streets, your roads,
Oh, yeah.
your lighting, the community stuff that goes on. That's who that person is. They got to learn it. They're not teaching that in school no more.
No.
They're not that what we used to call it, that civics when
I
we were
want
going
to
to
say
school.
it's civics.
Yeah, civics.
Yeah, civics not being taught like that no more. It's not teaching those kids that this lower level will affects your community.
Yeah.
And if you get that straight, then you be confident in the system. But if you walking down the street and you got potholes in the street and you don't know who to call, or you call that person, he don't say that. Now you saying, okay, well that's why I don't vote right there, because when I called Mr. Trammell, he had no answer for me. But you didn't vote Mr. Trammell in.
Exactly.
Right? If you had a hand in Mr. Trammell getting into a political position, then you probably can make a phone call, Mr. Trammell. Mr. Trammell will say, okay, this is Mr. Jacob. He's been out there in the community every day, so I got to get my phone. I'm gonna call the highway department and see what's going on with these streets. Then I'll get back with you. So they don't realize how that level starts.
You're right.
They don't, and it's not being taught in school no more.
You're right.
And I can tell you now because I walk the hallways and they don't talk anything political in the schools, and which is not. It's just teaching you kids the right way to vote. As soon as you get a junior, senior, your senior year, it's time you to register.
So yeah.
And then you got an opportunity. So we some years we probably missed between Carroll, Richwood, Wiseman, what was school, even Neville. We probably missed about 6,000 people, 6,000 voters because they don't go vote. Because they don't know the situation. They don't know the severity of their voting.
But Boomer, what's the population of black people in Louisiana? You know, offhand?
Let me look it up. Do some talking, baby, while I look it up.
What kind of
Talk about.
Well, look, let me tell y'all about us. When our children started voting, we started taking them with us to vote. Our older girls started going. They all go now. Everybody has absentee voted these last 2 weeks, where they take pictures with their stickers on. I voted. Our 20-year-old went in today. Took her less than 5 minutes. It's just very important to exercise your right to try to make a change for the better, for the future to come. Our ancestors fought, died, was killed, murdered for this here right. And some of us just let it sit and fail. And they don't realize that one vote, one person can make a difference. I'm married to somebody that makes a difference every day. You know, so.
So as of April the 1st, 2020, the population of Louisiana is 4,657,757. You jumped off, Jake. So he's off. Well, man, I guess he'll get back on in just a second. But that's the population.
That's a lot
of people in the state of Louisiana, which is a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm almost certain over less than half votes every year. Less than half. Which is crazy. So that's why I'm always wondering why folks always say, you know, this is not my vote, don't count, and
it does.
And people are not hearing me. That's how they hear you. They hear you when you go in that ballot box. They hear you when you put the person in that you want to put in, and you can get up there and actually say at a meeting, a council meeting, I helped put you in. You know, you can say that I helped put you in this office. I went out on the streets and talked on your behalf, and I helped you. Yep. So you need to help us.
Your vote is your voice.
That is it. Your vote is your voice. And you had a lot of people go, died for that right. And we just do not go and vote. Even the younger generation of kids, like I said, fresh out of high school, they just will not vote for some reason. And I don't know why. If anybody on here can give me a suggestion why they don't vote, feel free to chime in. If anybody got any solutions or any suggestions that we can, as a community, just I've asked several kids. As a matter of fact, I was at the job today and I asked a young lady that's in nursing, you know, you gonna vote today? She was like, huh? I said, well, this is the most important. When she said, huh, I knew right then that she her mind wasn't even set to go. So I know she didn't go. They're gonna ask her tomorrow, but I know she didn't go today. And they always say they got more important things to do, and it's not. That is important.
Kinsley chimed in and said they just don't care enough to do it, sadly.
Yeah. So we somewhere along this line, we got to get it in our mind that we got to make that change. We got to get out there and start hustling and bustling and getting out here and letting folks know that we're gonna vote. And then if they know you gonna vote, then you'll get some act right. But if they know you're not gonna get out and vote, they're not gonna come out here and cater to you. They're not gonna come talk to you. You won't even hear from them. And so we got to get out there as a community and voice our opinion. It is what it is. That I went the other day and I told my wife, I said, man, I went to go vote. And it was probably around about maybe 10 o'clock. And I think it was a day that it was that Monday that everybody was out for a holiday. So it really wasn't no excuse. And when I got there and I told my wife, I said, baby, it's just a shame. It wasn't that many people in there. And that was a free day. That was an in-service day for school teachers. And so kids was out, moms was, so it was a free day. So if you were an 18-year-old kid, your senior year at school, you should have been right there. You had no excuse. If you at work, you still can go. And so this is and everybody wants to complain about what's going on and when something happens, everybody, you gotta understand laws are being made based off of who you put in office. Opportunities can help you out because all you got to do is vote people in that you want to do what they're supposed to do.
Exactly. Ramon says we have to understand that complaining about things like high grocery prices, high gas prices, and low-paying jobs are all tied to their own vote. It makes a difference.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Ramon. And it just don't make no sense, man. It really don't. It's ridiculous. And we gonna have to start educating our kids. And I know you already talking to your boy, and so I think your oldest boy, I think he should be getting close to that age. So it's time for us to really hone in on that so they can understand how important it is. As you like the lighting outside. Say your community is dark. Your streets are dark. You need lights. And all that falls in the people who you put in office that get money to do stuff like that. Now you might go to another side of town and it's lit up like crazy. Come to this side of town and it won't. Okay, he'll be registered in March. That's awesome. That's all. That's right. He's got to learn. He's got to know that it's power. It is, but and ladies and gentlemen, it's power in your vote. If you go and vote on a consistent basis, you don't just go run out there because it's a presidential election. You won't go run out there because this your favorite young man next door that's running. You ain't voted forever. Even though they would take your vote, but I would encourage everybody to talk to at least somebody. At least bring. They said bring 2. I say bring 3 to the polls. And I ain't talking about kinfolk. I'm talking about you, a neighbor, and somebody you didn't know. That way you did your job. But if you don't do that, and you don't help somebody do what they're supposed to do, how can you complain?
Ramon also says his son will be going to the military, so you already know it's going to be mandatory.
It's absolutely mandatory. That's the first thing they gonna ask you: are you registered to vote?
Which is wonderful.
And if not, they gonna do it right there on the spot before you get sworn in. That's just what they do, man. And it's a good thing. But even I'm pretty sure some folks that's in the military that got in and got registered, they probably ain't voting either. The ones that and went home, and like I said, I can walk down my street right now. And as a matter of fact, I might do a survey just to see how many people on this street. Which we got some of that. So we got some elderly folks, but we got some young ones on this street too. Mm-hmm. We got a bunch. I know the elderly folks gonna vote. They always. One thing about them, yeah, because they go vote on the day of.
Yeah.
I don't. You know, my mom, everybody, they go vote on the day of or something. I guess it just is in them. They ain't gonna stop doing that. They go vote on the day of. You know, you can try to get them out there. Hey, let mama go. No, baby. I'm going on the day of. Okay, I'm right. You know, that line gonna be long. That's all right, baby. Mom just gonna sit out there. But I just want to go on the day of. And so that's what they all do. But they do go vote now. Don't get me wrong. They gonna get out there and they gonna pull that lever. I'm pretty sure if you pull the archives on my mom, she probably voted in every election that's out there. She gonna get there. She'll get there probably around about 6 o'clock. Like that's what they do now. They get up get that coffee at 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock. They in the line. Shoot, we get up around about 2, 3, 4 o'clock. Look around, say we still got time. For you know it, it's too late. Yeah, that's another thing because one thing I know is about us, they don't stand in no long lines. Not the young folks. Now the older folks do. But we need to get out there immediately in droves and allow ourselves to be heard. And like I said, they what they don't realize is how easy your vote can affect. Take a power one off. How easy your vote can affect your community. Especially your lack of voting. Because it also, you know, if everybody think about it, they take a census of everybody that don't vote. And I don't know how many times you don't vote before they purge you from the roll, but it's a certain amount of time. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. What was his name? The paper, Free Press. Mr. Wright got on his paper one day and had a list, I think about 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 names that have been purged from, were about to be purged from the roll because they hadn't voted in a long time. People don't understand that you got to get in there. Just cause you on the roll to register and you ain't registered, you go to that bad boy, say this is the most important election ever. Just say it is. And you ain't voted in 5, 6, 7, I think I don't know how many years, 5 years, you go there and they say, well, we took you from the roll because you ain't voted. You can't get mad.
But they will.
Yeah, but you can do all you want to. They got people that gonna put you out of there. That's why they got 3 or 4 policemen in there now. They gonna put you out. But you can't blame nobody but yourself.
True.
And so then you got kids that since mama don't want to vote and dad don't want to vote, why should I vote? And that's another problem.
Yeah.
And so if you're not voting and mom and dad is not voting, that's 3 votes. Sometimes in an election, especially in a local election, every vote counts.
It does.
Especially like, you know, mayor, state representative, police jury, city council, every vote counts. Because it's not like electoral college. They count every person that went in there and pushed that level for that person. You can't call nobody and say, I meant to go vote, man. I apologize, man. I'm sorry, man. Don't make no sense. It's uncalled for. So how you gonna want somebody to go to Baton Rouge or to DC to fight on your behalf, and you ain't fighting for him right now? And that's my point. We're not taking the opportunity uplift and get out there and exercise it, man. We got to. We definitely got to get out there.
And they don't take it seriously.
No, right. And I don't know why. For the life of me, tell me why.
I don't know. Our children vote.
Yeah, why young kids don't take it seriously? I mean, it makes no sense for you not to go out there and
exercise
and sometimes, Ramon, it might take you 10 minutes if you go early vote. Sometimes it might take you 3 minutes.
It took all of us less than 5.
Less than 5 minutes to go in there.
Yep.
Okay.
Sure did.
5 minutes.
This was the easiest it's ever been.
Less than 5 minutes. Now, what's crazy about it is, and you and then you won't sit there in the line. You get upset. But let's watch a football game, right? And say it's the Super Bowl and they go in overtime. You'll sit there for that, right? The NBA Finals, they go in overtime. You sit for that, right? Even World Series, if the Yankees start coming back, you'll be watching the football game, right? But you will not stay in a line to go exercise your right to vote. Or you won't even go. You drive down the street and you see the line, you keep straight on going. And say, well, I'm gonna try back at 3 o'clock. You know, I went at 10, it was packed. I try at 3. Or it's 3 o'clock. The polls don't close at 6 or 7. I still got time. All I gotta do is be in the line. You get home and lay down, man. You know what? My vote wasn't gonna count anyway, because that's what they're gonna say. If I had $1 for everybody that say that when I asked them that question, man, my vote wasn't gonna count anyway. Man, my vote wasn't gonna count anyway.
Yep.
It does. It does. It makes a difference. It makes a difference in the census report when they redistrict. They redistrict based off the voting. They redistrict based off of that. Because they know, okay, well, we can push them a little farther that way because we know they ain't gonna vote. So we'll be able to funnel our way into Tanglewood, Dalewood, Tickle-Eye, Garden Park, Charmondale easily, because those folks are not getting out and vote. So all we gotta do is just ease it in there and then wait and watch them don't vote. No, it's not feasible to me. Every year, we cannot get out here and exercise our right to vote. We simply refuse to get up. Now, I've been watching the news now. They had a record early vote.
Yes.
A record early vote all over the country.
Yes.
Now, I don't know about early voting in Louisiana, but I've watched the news and they're saying it's a record vote. Early vote. Which is phenomenal, which is awesome. I even give some hand claps on that. Because that is wonderful. But we definitely need to take this momentum and keep it going. We definitely, in the state of Louisiana, need to go and make ourselves be heard. That's just like, the governor's race that passed by. Man, there was 15 people in that race. That should have been no way. That shouldn't have been a runoff. There's no way. But guess what? Folks didn't go out and vote.
Of course.
Folks did just not go out and vote. They just stayed at home.
And it's sad.
They stayed at home. You shouldn't stay at home for nothing. If you take time to watch and listen to people as they talk about other folks and other opponents that they're talking against, just pay attention. Just pay attention. Do your research. Do your homework. somebody spitting negativity about somebody, go look them up personally. Research them. See what they're about. Then you can voice your opinion on vote. Then you can vote. But if you sit around and you let this social media throw all kinds of AI and got people talking, and it look like me talking and I ain't talking, saying stuff that I've never heard or said before, instead of just doing research on your own, on your person, that's shame on you. That's politics 101. All you got to do is look them up and talk about and look at them. See what they're about. Attend some stuff, some meetings. That's some of the problem we don't do. That's why we don't vote, because we don't attend meetings to see what's going on. If you attend some of these school board meetings, you know that you need to get out here and vote for them school board members. Because that's what puts stuff in your schools. That's who decides who gets the new turf for the football field. That's who decides who gets the new playground equipment. That's who decides who gets the new smart board. That's who decides that. And if you don't put them in there and you don't vote, what can you say? That's just the school board. And they do all kinds of other stuff in the school board. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm wondering if our people, or even if you are a different color, because blacks and whites, a lot of them don't vote. But we got to start looking out and voting ourselves. Voting our choice and voting our mind. Because I'm telling you, if you need something in your schools, if you don't vote when it comes down to Washington Parish schools or Monroe City schools, that is your fault.
And be the first one to complain.
And be the first one to complain. And that's disappointing, because if you want stuff for your school and you go before the school board meeting and you put the person in at the school board meeting, welcome back there, brother.
Yes, sir.
If you put the school board member in that you didn't vote for, how can you complain when they go to the other side, to the north side, and put new stadium equipment? And what they're gonna do is they're gonna give you a little something. They ain't gonna give you a lot. But they're gonna take care of the people that put them in there.
Yep.
That's just a no-brainer.
Well, why do you think when you go to certain neighborhoods, the streets are paved, blacktop, pretty? Then you go in the lower neighborhood, they got potholes. Some of them don't even have roads. Why do you think that? Those people are the ones that are not voting.
Yeah, you just missed it. That's what you just come back on. That's called what's this called, baby? When somebody verify what you said. Confirmation. He wasn't even on here. His lights was off, so he didn't hear none of my conversation. And he just come back in and said the same thing I just told you guys.
Yes, indeed.
It's the truth. That's just like I was telling them about the schools, equipment, the new turf on the football field. All that stuff is done by your school board members.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put the right school board members in and you voice your opinion about what you need at your school, then they're going to vote on it.
Right.
But it's about putting the right people in, because there's money budgeted in every school to do certain stuff. But they do move money around to other schools because the other schools that are making else don't get it. And so if you don't put Superintendent Jacob Trammell in, and he does whatever he wants because somebody else put Superintendent Jacob Trammell in, who fault is that?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. That's why we got to start from the bottom, teaching our kids from the bottom part of elections till they get all the way to the top.
Right.
Because it funnels the way up, because if you put the right person in for the school board, he's gonna talk to the right person in the police jury, which you put in, right?
That's right.
So then he's gonna talk to the state representative, which you help get in, right? Then he's gonna do the senator, which you put in, right?
Right.
And then it funnels up to the governor, right?
That's right.
And that's how it works. But if you don't put that person, if you somewhere along that line, you have nothing to do with the state representative getting in, he different type of what's the word I'm looking for? He's a conservative, and you help put him in. So what he's gonna stonewall it. Well, let me go and I put it on the floor for people to talk, and then we'll go from there. Well, of course, you put it on the floor, and if there is a majority, matter of fact, it's a super majority in Louisiana for Republicans. Super majority. That means they own it. They if people don't know what that means, they got the House and the Senate in the state of Louisiana. So it makes it real hard for you to get any bills passed unless they like it. Who fault is that?
Yeah.
Right. We didn't. Now all of a sudden, the people that said my vote don't count, you see your vote counts.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Your vote counts 100%. Because the supermajority means they can sit there with their hands folded and say no. They can move money and vote on it and move it without nobody even, can't nobody stop it, because they got supermajority means they got more than 10 members ahead of us in each representative and the state. So it doesn't matter if you can get 5 of them on your side from Republicans, the other 5 gonna vote on the other side. Either way it go, you still lose. You're not exercising your right. You're not exercising that power to vote.
That's right.
That's right.
And if you don't do what you're supposed to do, and you don't put the right people in place, and you can put the right Republican in place. You got Republicans that work with Democrats, but it's got to be the right one. Can't be out here with these wild ideas, throwing wild stuff out there. But it goes back to that younger generation that just don't get it. If you don't vote right, that's what affect the laws. All the laws that just come out against 18-year-olds and all that stuff, you see why they came out.
I guess who came out, but who came out did the majority of that vote?
Who came out for us? Louisiana?
Yeah, for governor. Yeah, for governor.
The Republicans did.
That's right.
They did.
That's right.
You missed that too. I was telling my wife, it was 15 people in the governor's race. There was no way it should have been a runoff. No way, Jay. But it wasn't. The man went straight in.
Yeah.
So that means somewhere along the line, somebody, the matter of fact, if I do the research right, and I think I saw it, it said less than half of the New Orleans metropolitan showed up to vote. That's where all the votes really come from. That would have helped the Democrat even get into a runoff. They didn't. Baton Rouge and New Orleans did not show up. Those are the biggest ones. They come out.
Yeah, Baton Rouge and New Orleans. You're right.
And they didn't. And so he went straight in. And when you ever heard of an election with 15 people in it not having a runoff? I'm serious. Think about it.
That all that falls back to self-preference.
Right.
You know.
So if you done that, I didn't see 3 people have a runoff. 15?
Yeah.
15. Unheard of. So I mean, so that you can't say the whatever million that didn't vote can't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say nothing.
But will.
Hey, before I got cut off, but did you ever find out the population of
Yeah. It was hold on. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, it was as of August 1st of 2020, it was 4,657,757.
And I wonder how many votes it were.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm not trying to just blame black folks because it's not just black folks.
No, I said that too. I said that too.
It's
You
always
got Hispanics also.
We got white Democrats too. We do.
Yeah. And you even have some Caucasians out there that are not voting either.
Right. I said that too.
But it seems like we can do a lot if we just apply ourselves.
This is what I'm saying. We know right now there's a lot of them that's disappointed. The Caucasian group.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It is. Why can't we go and show up and show out now then?
Self-preference, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Some people rather just sit down and dwell on the news about who's president and what they're not doing and how they're not doing this and not doing that.
Yeah.
And then complain about it.
They're the ones that sit back. And if the election don't go the right way, I told you one gonna make this. See, look, I vote they're gonna count. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that right there. Look on the screen. Look at that. That's them. But imagine 3 million of them saying that same thing.
Imagine 3 million of them voting.
That's right. Bob said 3 million saying that same thing, man. I told you what gonna happen. Told you what gonna happen. And so you count people in the total, it ends up being 3 million. And that person losing by 1 million votes. Because you said, I told you about what gonna count. Well, it did count because you didn't show up.
Yeah. That's a good example, Boom, because what happened in Georgia, how he won Georgia. It was just like that. It was a close one. Yeah. And it all had to do with the votes that were counted.
That's right.
Yeah. You're sure right. You're right. That's exactly, absolutely, positively right. Now just imagine if more people decided to come out and just exercise that right. Just in Georgia. Because right now they say Georgia's showing out from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So, so if they go on the pace that they had then, I even hear Texas is doing pretty good.
Yeah, Georgia's doing better, but you're right. Texas is getting to the point to where they're starting to listen.
Yeah.
To the other side now.
Yeah. And that's all politics is, man. That's all it is just listening to what people saying and then informing your opinion and then casting your vote.
Exactly.
Like I said, I think you went on there and I was saying that, people can use AI and say stuff about people or put my voice in my face on something totally I didn't say. But if you do the right research on that person yourself,
right,
you can form a better opinion than listening to all these internet sensations and folks up here voicing their opinion about a person.
True.
And so a lot of people do that, to get likes, to get clicks, to try to boost their ratings on their podcast, to try to boost their ratings on whatever. And that's fine and good, but you got to think about what life is going to be about, and how are we going to go on these next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, however long we here on this earth.
Right.
I at least want, my grandkids to realize and understand that, this is the land of free, the home of the brave. And we gotta teach them, man. You absolutely right. Taking them that early is the best thing you could ever did. Now I don't know, I'm like you. I don't know if they have voted since that time, because I know mine have, because my wife makes sure they go, and Keisha and Kiwan, they sent me a picture of them with their thing on their shirt, so they went. So we're trying our best to keep that in them and stored in them, and to allow them to realize how important this is. How important every time you go in that booth, how important that is. It's not a joke. It's not a game. It's something serious that to take serious and to make sure that everybody realizes that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you got anything to add?
No, that's pretty much in a nutshell what you just said, Boom Boom. We just got to make sure now.
That's it. So the suggestion is it more conversation with our youth, or is it more conversation with our kids need to be had on a platform type segment or in-person segment? or we just gotta really get out there and I guess they say boots on the ground and sit down and talk to them.
If you're going to do that there, you don't have to catch them in high school.
Right. So basically, that senior year.
Yeah, you have to catch them in high school.
Yeah. So catch them that senior year because, like I said, it's not being taught.
I thought they registered them to vote their senior year, the high schools.
I don't know if they do it or not. If you say they do, I don't know.
They did with Erica now, the older children.
Okay.
I don't remember Kinsley or what have you, but like I said, they all vote.
All right, Kenneth, if you still on here, did they register you to vote when you were in high school? You can chime in and let me know. But if they doing it, that's good. But even if you register, you can register them all day long. But are you teaching them what that means? Is that just a checkbox that the school has to do?
I don't know. I don't know if
like
it comes with a conversation or what.
I don't think it's being taught no more. I really don't. But I know you probably right about that because I think, if I'm not mistaken, when Ken was singing, they kept asking us about her that with her FAFSA. She had to be registered to vote. I think that's what it was. But she did register.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I'm saying, I think that was just a box that had to be checked for the school.
So they don't have a conversation about it. It's just a requirement.
Yeah, I don't think it's a sit down like we said a civics class where you can sit down and tell the importance of voting.
Okay.
And explain to them how the process is and how it starts from the bottom up. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's being taught or not. Ramon, if you're over there, let me know if that's being taught or not. If you've ever heard about that too as well. But I don't know, Jake. If it is being taught, it's new. But I know it's probably a requirement.
Well, Boone is here. How can, and I'm not getting on the school district or the school board or anything like that, but how can you have home economics and not have anything about social economics, meaning what going on in society? I mean, I think that's more important because anybody can cook. I got that from my dad. I got that from my mom, cooking. Anybody can sew. I got that from my mom. I got that from my dad. And home economics is more than sewing and cooking. You know, it's still some more involved in that. But I think economics should go in there so they can teach these kids about voting. They can teach these kids about do's and don'ts of social media. So they can teach these kids about society, the people that are out there, not just to speak, some are out there to harm you. That should be something that they should look at and actually put that into work so they can start having it. And it should happen when they're senior.
Well, you know, for some reason, the school system is they have curriculums, what they harp on all the time.
Right.
So it's not like they used to do us where we had a certain set a day or a certain, a speaker come in and talk about that. They don't even do it no more, man. It's just, I understand what you're saying.
They don't do that no more. They don't even let speakers come in and talk to the class or nothing like that.
It had to be like an event, like maybe Red Ribbon. Like this Red Ribbon Week, they might have a guest speaker for that, you know, or Black History Month, or so it's got to be an event. I used to go in there all the time, but we never talked about that as much as we should have talked about it. But I don't think they let you do that in school, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they let you talk about politics.
I don't know. Kenya says, Alex said they do not register them to vote in high school, that he just registered when he started Delta.
There you answer, Jake.
What do you say?
They don't let the kids register in high school.
Right.
He registered, the young man, he goes to our church. He registered when he went to Delta, to the to the community college.
Okay.
And so that lies a problem right there. And so it's not being taught. That's what we're saying. It's not, it has to be. It's probably, if it's being taught at home.
Well, see, that's what I was telling you before. Remember, you said Mom taught you. Now he's saying the school that he went to taught him. I'm telling you.
No. He said not the high school.
Yeah.
Right, Delta College.
Yeah, but the high school didn't.
Right, but the Delta College did.
Yeah, they did.
So when I say social economics, I'm not talking about teaching them anything about politics. I'm talking about teaching them things that grown-ups do, that grown-ups should do and grown-ups shouldn't do.
Right.
Because that's their next step once they get out of high school.
Right.
They're going to find out either the easy way or they're going to find out the hard way.
Yeah.
And I say about 35% find out the hard way.
Yeah.
And when you find out the hard way, boom, it's too late. Why do you think we got all these prisons being built?
Right.
You know,
Every day.
I retired from working from a prison and they paying me for the rest of my life.
Right.
Because it's kind of like a railroad track.
Yeah.
Once the train gets on there, it's going to keep going.
Right.
And it's no limit until the train stops itself. That's the same thing with these kids. Once they get on that track and it's something that's not helping them, but it's benefiting them, they're going to keep going.
Yeah.
If they're not worried about voting right now, the only thing they're worried about is this: social media, these, clothes, this, driving. I mean, all material stuff right now is what's going on. And I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking about that when I was in the Army, about what I can do with myself when I was in the Army, about what I can get, from being in the Army.
Right.
It took me, once I got out the Army, to realize that's not what I went in for.
Right.
Because I had to start right back over again once I got out the military, and the prison is what saved me. So it's a learning phase for the youth that are not voting, because if you don't vote now, it's going to affect you when you get older. I promise you.
Absolutely.
So
yeah,
they're gonna have to get themselves together sooner or later.
So I'm guessing we just gonna have to talk to them. I guess, man. I mean, there's no other option, because we got folks they're not gonna listen.
Communication.
You're gonna have to have that open end conversation. Can't be in no school because they don't let you do this. So it has to be like an event that you're doing, and you gotta talk about the importance of it. And we gotta get folks out here. Like I said, it's 18-year-olds I know without a shadow of doubt that are not voting, man. That's just ridiculous. They're not voting. That's the last thing they thinking about is voting. It probably ain't on their list to go vote.
Hey, but when the next time you go to work, ask them kids what November 5th is. You'll see.
Yeah.
We're not putting it out there. Now, I bet you they know what December 25th is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I bet you they know what Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows what Halloween is. They wait right now. That's why the stores don't have no candy no more.
Yeah.
They sold.
Right.
So we're not promoting voting like we're promoting the holiday.
Right.
We're not.
Well, you know what? I'll say we're not promoting it constantly. How about that?
Yeah.
Now, when voting time getting close, that's when they promote it. They're not. It's not a January through December talk session. If it makes sense, it's only doing when it's election time. So we talked about it from January, February, March, April, May, June, July, December, all the way. Then that's a conversation. But we only talk about it when it comes close to that time, if that makes sense.
It is.
Right.
So it needs to be talked about 12 months out the year, basically.
Well, but if you join, like I joined the Democratic Party down here, where I'm looking at. So anytime it gets even close to election, they flood my emails. They even call me and remind me. I think
you said it right. Close.
So again.
So you said when you get close to election, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't wait till like 3 months or 6 months. The beginning of the year, I started getting.
Right. That's why I said we got to have that type of mentality. So right. Everybody, it's 12 months of somebody talking about somebody running for something.
Right.
And that'll keep your mind to wondering, okay, maybe I need to exercise my right to vote.
Really talking.
But we won't do that, man. And we just, it's like even when, no matter what race come up, it'll be the governor, the mayor, the sheriff, police, juror, you only hear about them or hear from them. And that's another thing that they say that's why they don't go vote. The only time I hear from them when it's election time. So why would I vote for them? That's the only time I hear from people coming to see me, because they want my vote. But before, even after that, I don't hear them. They win. Don't hear nothing from them.
And it's true.
And that's a true statement. But then what you supposed to do, Jake?
Vote their ass out. Oh.
Did I just hear Robert?
Yeah, I think I just heard.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, vote them out. Yeah.
Vote them out.
Yeah, you gotta vote them out. Absolutely. And so
I bet you they vote.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I was behind on the I missed that vote, but that's what I needed right there, Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get enough time to catch it. I should have did it with you.
What happened to your beeper, boo boo?
Hey man, I was trying to find the button because I knew sooner or later we were gonna get a good one from somebody from the seats. You know what I mean? So I couldn't do it in time, man. My bad. You know what I mean? My bad to the listeners.
I apologize.
But it comes from a passionate heart, and she's right. You do vote them out if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, and so that's what we need to do, guys. We need to make sure that we exercise our right and vote. We need to make sure that we choose the right people we want.
Yes.
We want to make sure that we let the people know that hey, we voted you in, and we can get together in the next 2.5, 3 years and get you out of there. If you don't pay attention.
Okay, look, I got a comment.
Go ahead.
Kenya Bowie says, you have to think like a young person. They want to know what's in it for them or how will it benefit them.
Answer that, Jake.
What she say?
Say it again.
She says, you have to think like a young person. They want to know what's in it for them or how it will benefit them.
Well, it's simple benefiting because me personally, if I vote for something, let's say city clerk, everybody know what the city clerk does, right?
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I voted for the city clerk and I'm having a problem getting my marriage certificate or I'm having a problem getting anything, I'm exercising my right to call her and let her know, hey, I'm the one that voted for you. All I want is a copy of my birth certificate. I'm getting the running around. Can I please get one? I'm a registered voter. I vote every year. That's what I do. So I'm just asking for one request. That's it. That's the power that people don't realize that they have. Once they let somebody know, they're not just dealing with Bonnie Fife out there.
Rudy Poo.
Yeah, Rudy Poo.
Yeah.
Hit the donkey button.
Yeah.
That's it, baby.
Yeah. They're not dealing with that. They dealing with conversation. I'm gonna make sure that person knows what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Use that. You have the power to use what you're doing.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So did that answer your question, Ms. Bowie? Is that what that the answer you need to relate back to youth or you? Do you have an answer to it? Do you have a suggestion as well? I am waiting to hear. I am waiting to hear.
I was going to say she called.
No, Dr. Phil calling me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't think she's gonna put anything right now. So, anything? We got a minute left, my brother. So, anything else you want to leave out with?
Well, I would say this here, as far as voting is concerned.
She said that was good.
Okay.
Oh, tell I said thank you.
Yeah, that's my big brother.
I think she can hear you. Go ahead.
but yeah, what I like to say, is a lot of people don't realize how important voting is, and they will never realize unless they make their first step. We can sit on here and we can talk about it all day, and they can listen to it. They can turn it off, or they can apply and say, "Okay, this is something I really need to talk about with my son and my daughter." So they will know how important it is. Because I'm gonna tell you like this, Bobo. When we dead and gone, we dead and gone.
Yes, sir.
This world is going to what they say in a handbasket.
Absolutely.
This is the time to let these youth know that voting is the most important thing out there. And if
Absolutely.
you don't do it, it will affect you in this lifetime or later on in your life. As you get older, you'll realize you should have voted because it's going to affect you. It's going to affect your Social Security. It's going to affect your retirement. It's going to affect your 401k. It's going to affect your paycheck. It's going to affect your sick time. It's going to affect your vacation time. It's going to affect your holiday time. It's going to affect everything that you care about while you're living on this earth. So voting matters. So go out and vote.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate you being on today, my brother. Matter of fact, you're gonna be on forever. So this is actually gonna be my co-host. So I have 3 people on from now on, my brother, and
Yes, sir.
my wife. And so I appreciate you being on, my brother. Oh, by the way, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, he calls me Boom Boom because that's my nickname. So, you know,
I don't know no other name, man. I don't know no
he
other
don't
name.
know other
I've never called him
name.
Kenneth in my life.
He never called me Kenneth. He always been calling me Boom Boom. And so, oh, my wife says, go and vote, my family. Yes, everybody go out and vote. Please go out and vote. So in closing, as I always tell everybody, quit yelling at your kids at night, hoping them to sleep, hoping they will sleep and get a good night's rest. Your voice is the last voice they're going to hear. Quit yelling at your kids in the morning time before they go to class. Expect them to do great in class. Speak positivity, speak love, speak success, speak admiration. And at the end of the day, love on and listen to your kids. This has been Shave and a Haircut. I am your host, Kenneth Trammell, with my co-host, Jacob Trammell, and my wife, Latonya Davis Trammell, signing off until the Tuesday after next. We love you guys. See you next time. Later.